Hello, good morning, everyone. Thought I was going to get away with not going live again, but this storm that's formed here in South Louisiana, moving towards southern St. Landry Parish. This is actually, they've tagged this, I'm clicking the wrong thing, from Acadia into St. Landry Parish here as destructive. So the warning text is actually calling for baseball-sized hail. So let me get that warning out of there and just kind of zoom in and show you the areas where this is going. We're going to go straight into the hail swath with this, and that is a flat-out impressive hail swath. Just pulling out this kind of happened quickly here. It went from golf ball to baseball. So I am keeping a very close eye on this one. I'm going to put this in motion here so we can kind of see the track. You can see the path there. And let me take those skits off. That's where that storm has really increased. It looks like this is pointing up. It's kind of taking a little left turn. So Opelousas, you are not officially, most of Opelousas, not in the warning, but this is something I'm going to be watching as this storm continues on toward the northeast. And let's look at that core of the heaviest activity. And you can see right there, we have a kind of a lead storm that's developed out ahead of this from Port Barre and through southern parts of Opelousas. But this right here, this core that is moving up through Church Point and Richard, Lewisburg, up toward Lawtell. It's going to cross right at 190 and 49, it looks like there. So especially the southern half of Opelousas, plan on at least golf ball-sized hail with the potential for larger, with the potential for up to baseball-sized. And we'll go in and take a look at the specs on this storm right now. The estimated hail size inside this storm at 3¼ inches, I think that's running a little hot, but I still think we could see the potential here of baseball-sized hail. It's going to be interesting. If you're in that area, please do go ahead and get me any sort of reports you can. I know this isn't even into our area just quite yet, but this storm is going to be moving through southern St. Landry Parish, which we do cover. So I wanted to get out here and show you what's going on there. And what I'm going to do is actually go in and take a 3D look at this and kind of see if this is an ascending or descending hail core and all that good stuff we look at. Let me hit volume. Okay. And then we're going to go and take a slice and we're going to take a look right through this hail core. And what we do here is turn that thing like that. Wow, what a monster. So this top of this storm is pushing 50,000 feet, slicing through it and kind of taking a look through the core of this. Yes, the hail core is still aloft. It looks like it is falling out of the storm as well. So this is a big one. I'm looking to see what we're trending toward, and it actually looks like as I go back here and kind of slide through this, that this one is intensifying, and I think that's why they they went ahead and upped that warning. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning, a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be wonky here for a second as I go back, and there we go. But this is for the potential of destructive hail that is now entering into southern St. Landry Parish. This is just about to cross in toward Louisville and then eventually, or Lewisburg, over towards Sunset as this continues on toward the east-northeast. So anywhere along I-49 between Sunset and Opelousas, this storm could bring some very significant hail up to baseball size. So there is going to be damage to vehicles, damage to roofs, damage to pretty much anything that's not nailed down outside. If you have pets outside, get them inside. You want to protect them as best you can. I know you can't go out and wrangle all the livestock ahead of this, but this is the kind of stuff that can be really destructive for that. So prayers that this one goes away very quickly. If you are anywhere between Church Point, Sunset, and Opelousas, that's kind of the triangle I'm looking at here. This is where we have that potential for baseball-sized hail with this storm as it continues on toward the northeast, and it's not moving terribly fast. Let's actually take a look at that. The speed on this is east at about 26. I'd say more east-northeast. The hail size actually creeping up here in the last scan up to 3.5 inches. Let's take a look at the Lake Charles radar. see if we see any, it's nice to see different angles of this. My goodness, what an absolute monster here. Strong core of hail just about to move through Church Point, Lewisburg next in line, and then it looks like probably between Sunset and Opelousas on 49. This could make it all the way up to 190. So if you're south of 190, that's where you're going to see the best chance for this hail to impact your area. And this has been pretty well sustained. I am going to take a look. No real velocity signature here to worry about. So this is just a hail. This is a massive hail threat, moving into southwestern and eventually south central of not of Oils, St. Landry Parish. Let me jump out here, make sure we don't have any other warnings going on. Just some light rain up here across Rapides Parish, some strong storms in southern Allen, and then this storm over Lake Charles. But this one right here, this is the big game in town. Typically, I'm not going to be going live for severe thunderstorm warnings alone. But when it's significant and could really cause, physical harm, damage to automobiles, damage to roofs, things like that, then we jump on here and take a look at these things. So this storm is continuing on toward the east-northeast. I'll put it in motion. That is a sustained core of at least golf ball size hail, it looks like, continuing on toward the northeast. This is east-northeast. Yeah, you can see here how that little arrow was pushing more toward the east. I think this is actually sliding a bit more north of east. So if you are anywhere between Sunset and Opelousas, you are going to want to get the car in the garage right now. I know there's a lot of lightning with this storm as well, so we'll overlay that lightning, and you can see that there is a strong core of lightning right around that center of the biggest hail. And I'm just making sure I don't get any reports in here or up there. I'm watching everything. So if you are in southwestern St. Landry Parish, this is east of Eunice. So Eunice, you're in the clear on this one. But if you are between Opelousas and Sunset on I-49, if you're probably south of about mile marker 15, and somehow you're hearing this, continue on to the south, get away from this thing, get as far down toward like Karen Crow as you can. If you are in Opelousas and you're traveling, just continue on to the north and you'll stay away from this. But probably from about mile marker 19 down through, I would say 11, that's where we're going to see the highest risk for large hail, potentially destructive hail with this storm, as this storm continues to move on toward the east-northeast. We'll take a look at the other radar site here, and yeah, this thing's really sustained itself. And let's take a look and see the specifics on this latest scan. 3.5, yeah, that's the latest. 3.5-inch diameter hail with an elevated core in this storm at 74 dBz. If it gets above 65, I'm thinking we've got hail in a storm. If it gets above 70, that's pretty crazy. And if it gets up into that 75 range, that's when we're looking at that potential for baseball-sized hail. And we are seeing that potential with this storm as it continues on toward the east-northeast. And someone just mentioned in the chat that they saw a video of golf ball, if not egg-sized hail in Richard. So that would be, if it's egg-sized, we're talking better than 2-inch in diameter. And I think we'll probably end up seeing some reports larger than this. Yeah, that core went right over Richard. It's heading up toward Opelousas. So if you are in Opelousas, you're not quite in the warning yet. You're going to want to go ahead and cover whatever you can, because this storm is absolutely loaded with ice here. Lots of hail with this storm. We're going to see some impressive videos and things out of this. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take a look, see if I can find that video. I'm not going to be able to share it here, but I'm just looking for my own viewing, just to see, just to get an idea of what exactly we're seeing. Oh yeah, that right there is damaging hail. Video from Richard, Louisiana. That's where we're seeing this, at least golf ball, probably larger, and could be increasing again from what we've seen in these last few scans. So if you are between Opelousas and Sunset, if you are southwest of that area, Lewisburg, you're next in line to see this. This should stay just south of Lawtell. That is probably going to stay, south of 190 until we get around Opelousas or just a little bit to the east, heading out toward Port Barry, a very familiar area for a lot of you that go down that way, down 49, and then cut over to Baton Rouge through 190, right at that little intersection there, and to the areas just south of that in Opelousas. That's where we are looking at the highest hail threat with this storm. But at least golf ball sized hail, likely up to baseball. I'm hoping I see a little rougher edge on that, and it's not quite as bad as it was. Let's go over to the Lake Charles radar. And actually, let's go ahead and look at the Shreveport radar, sometimes looking way up high in this. I mean, we're up at... We're almost 20,000 feet up seeing a core like that. So this one is not only... It has a lot of ice in it. It's a very deep core, and this one means business here. It's now into St. Landry Parish and moving toward Lewisburg, and eventually I'll put this in motion up toward Opelousas, and between Opelousas and Sunset. That's your best chance to see this. And for some reason, that arrow is moving. It's trying to kind of turn it to the right, and so far that has not happened. So it looks like this one is going to be a little bit further north, and this storm system is probably going to cross here on the south side of Opelousas, and we'll get a lot of reports then, I'm sure, as very large hail is going to be possible. This is a storm that has a tag of destructive hail on it, so that could be up to baseball sized. If you're in Lewisburg, this one's there. Hold on real quick. I'm just pulling up the chat here, so I've got it on a bigger screen. And they just did warn that storm down in Calcasieu Parish as well. That's going to stay south of our area, so we are not going to focus on that. We're going to lock in on this storm right here that is in southwestern St. Landry Parish and continuing on toward the northeast. And if you're commenting, I can't see them for some reason. I have not seen any comments, so I'm not ignoring you, I promise you. But if you are sharing anything, you can share it via Messenger or whatever. You can share any sort of reports on this. I'm just checking here to see if anybody shows up on the other computer here, because I know it's been a weird day for the internet. It's been a weird day for all this stuff. Okay, I got a thanks for the update. There you go, Marguerite. Thank you. Now I see there is a comment there. And I know this is not our most densely populated area, but this is a potentially destructive storm, and I'm not interrupting any programming or anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this one as we are continuing to look and see what we have going on. Marble-sized hail reported on Academy Road in Richard, so that's going to be probably on the edge of this storm that continues to produce large hail, likely larger than golf balls, possibly up to baseball size, and we have that destructive severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for St. Landry Parish as this storm continues to move toward the northeast. Let's zoom in and take a look at some roads here, because I'm not familiar with all these roads right now. Noel Road, Sarah Road, these areas in Lewisburg, you're about to just get smoked by a pretty big hail core here. If you are, oh, come on, show me what highway that is. You're not going to do it, are you? So if you are... What road do we have here? Oak Road, Montgomery Road. This is where it's headed, Lewisburg. You're about to see this. It looks like we saw a little tiny bit of a weakening trend. I would still bet that we are above golf ball size on this storm, and they have reissued or updated this warning. They've taken it down to 2-inch diameter hail, which can still cause significant damage. This is for northeastern Acadia Parish and central St. Landry Parish in central Louisiana. Severe thunderstorm located just south of Lawtell or near Church Point, moving northeast at 30. This includes, this warning will include Opelousas, Port Barry, Leonville. Let's see what other cities we have here. 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Opelousas, Church Point, Leonville, Sunset, Port Barry, Washington, Grand Coteau, Lawtell, Swords, and Prairie Ronde. So if you're in these areas, you know we've been talking about it now. The hail core is significant. It has pulsed down just a little, but that doesn't mean it's not still quite large. And I'm just looking at the other radars to make sure here. And what I'm going to do again is that 3D scan just to get inside this storm. And see what we're dealing with. See if we have have an ascending hail core in here and all that good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what I see when I see it. Okay, yeah, that looks impressive, but it looks a little less, a decent bit less impressive. It looks like this thing we might be getting that hail core to kind of dump out of this thing. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. So I'm going to step back here, and we're going to go back a little bit in time, and that. Let's come back here. Move over this way, and that way I can kind of go back in time and see how this thing. Yeah, you see, you had those real dark blacks and whites in there, and then it looks like that hail core is trying to kind of dump out here. It's still pretty impressive, though, up to almost 20,000 feet. We're seeing a pretty deep storm here with lots of ice in it for sure, and this is we've already verified larger than golf ball size hail out of this storm. I'll take you back into the larger view on this, and that is looking a little bit better. So we're down to the pinks, not the blacks. That's what we're looking for here when we're looking at this kind of radar signature. We don't want to see those darker blacks in there, but this is still producing hail over Lewisburg. This is heading toward the northeast, probably going to pass between Opelousas and Sunset, though it's going to be close. Let's put things in motion here. Yeah, that definitely did jump down a little bit. So we went from really, really impressive to pretty impressive. This storm continues to move toward I-49, and it looks like we are going to see some hail, but perhaps that hail core has dumped out of this storm, and it's not going to be as impressive. Perhaps this little split to the right here is robbing some of the instability. So that's how these things work. You get competing influences. You get these storms that they're going real well. Then maybe they split. This one takes the instability. This one could take over and cause some issues over Lafayette. So I'm going to step away here, as it looks like the most intense threat has started to back down just a little bit. And I'll be watching for your updates, for your reports on this stuff. Because, let me see, Marble Hail, Church Point. So another hail report in Church Point, but marble size. So this thing came through Church Point. It looks like, they were probably right in Church Point or just to the south of it. Still getting marble-sized hail with that pink. And then up to the north, it was going to be more significant toward Lewisburg and eventually crossing I-49. So that's what we've got right now. Please do give us any of your severe weather reports that you see today, be it this storm or any other storm. And if you do, I have to mention it. If you do have roof damage, Igloo Roofing, 318-542-7477. Mark will get you fixed up with a free estimate and help you on the insurance process and all that stuff. And they're a great partner with us here at Cenlaw Weather, so I have to throw them a shout out there. Good people. Okay, folks, I hope you have the cars garaged. I hope you're off the highway right here, but it looks like, at least right now, things are improving just a little bit, although this is still a severe storm that means business, moving between about mile marker 19 and mile marker 11 on Interstate 49 and areas just to the west and east of that. And you'll see that warning outline right there that includes areas like Washington, Opelousas, Leonville, and Lewisburg. All right, gonna get out of here. I will see you back here if this thing pulses back up, but for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and make a sandwich. See you later.